Hello everyone, let's jump straight to our video. Here we begin with minimal prompt file, and as you know, whenever we make changes to this file, it will automatically execute the prompt. In this particular case, we will choose the temperature in model, define it in the settings tag, and then we define user message with a task. Describe a fantasy character. Then we choose output path to specific file into specific branch. It's important to choose a branch because every time it makes a generation, it does not override the file, but it makes a new commit inside of the branch. We will see later why this is very important. Before we continue forward, we will see the result of our original generation, which is very interesting. However, as you notice, it does not have any particular shape, and it's not much that we can do with this response. So as we already begin towards the solution, we will define a structure of format with three fields: name, story, and skills. I will make description of every of those fields. Next interesting thing that I want to show you is ability to return multiple prompts from our, what we call it, functional prompt. When we return multiple array of multiple items in here, of multiple components, every of them will be executed as prompt in parallel and will work with the same input files and then make consequent commits into the branch. What I like to do is actually use this helper function. And I use this helper function, it will generate two prompts, so it'll make two generations with different temperature. So often I like to choose which temperature fits better. Now, when we generate a prompt with specified response formatting, we will see the difference. Our generation has the request structure with name, story, and skills as three separate tags that we can work with. Now we generate those characters, and how about we generate a fight between those two characters? And as I said, we can reference the same file, but a different commit. So it will override the tag with content of this file and the commit that we specify in revision attribute. It's interesting to notice that we can directly read file here and then put it inside our prompt. But this is obvious advantage of using uh, ability to specify paths in revision, because then we can have more granular control over. Now we define structure for the battle. We want our model to choose and at the turn of every character, we want for every character to make a choice, as we have our characters different skills. We want them to choose which skills to apply in the current turn. Therefore, we don't need to have name and story of the character inside of the prompt at this time, and that's why here we choose for the tag attribute. We can specify specific tag inside of this file to extract from the component. And only this will be actually embedded inside of our prompt. Now we have defined our format for battle. This is expected response format. And this is the generation response. This looks very interesting. Every of those characters made a choice of the skill, and then LLM decides a winner. It's not just like a random winner, but it's interesting that it makes a reason, makes a story. What actually happened during this when the skills collide, and who is the winner in the result. But what we'll see next, it's more interesting. If we think, if we are here inside of our functional component, we can execute calls to external APIs. And what if we actually make the outcome of our fight, we allow it to be affected by current real-time, real-life weather in particular location? We can easily do it. So we just define weather that we take from weather API in London. We update our prompt to embed this weather inside, and we will be very curious of the result, which is now way more interesting, way more engaging, because now the outcome of this fight it's connected to real-time, real-life weather in London, and the application of their skills creates a unique, truly unique and engaging story for user. What I will show you next, how we can execute multiple prompts and actually integrate our game logic in between those prompts, because it's crucial to be able to make new prompts based on the previous generations. And um, we actually don't want our AI to decide the winner. We will make our AI to decide outcomes of this particular skills collision, the reasoning behind the damage that users receive will make AI to create this engaging story. Later we can also visualize. But here I will show you how we will actually implement real game logic inside of our functional prompt. As you can notice, when we use this function, we can pass exactly the same kind of prompt component that we previously returned from the file. And what is different here is we don't, you can see we don't put the file in output because we want to have our output right here. And what interesting you can see happen automatically, it already deconstructs the JSX into JSON. So we can use access those fields, those values, just like that. Now we're able to determine the winner by actually applying the damage to the state. So we define the initial state of the character, and after every turn, and we will continue looping uh, over, we'll make characters fight until one of them is defeated. So we decrease their health, and then we will see who is the first one to lose all the health, and the opposite one is the winner. This is the most primitive logic that we can apply based on outcomes of those skills colliding. This response, a poem, is based on the actual moves, actual skills, turns of the winner, as we requested in the prompt, as we embed those multiple turns, like it's multiple paragraphs. It creates this kind of history in the memory of this character and in the memory of the player, because this is what important for a game to be memorable. However, what if we not only create this history for a winning character, but also for defeated character as well? What if we try to upgrade both of their stories? And as you can see, here what matters is a story. Now we pass not skills, but a story. And when we use inline attribute, it means that our prompt will not see character tag, but only contents of this file. Before we go further, let's actually generate um, some new characters. We'll have them uh, like, let's say, one of them we generated who is more like a character coming from a fantasy world. Is this his origin story, where it comes from this fantasy forest world with ancient trees? And our second character we generate he coming from cyberpunk city, from a different world with different kind of skills. And now it will be more interesting to collide them together and have their fight influenced by the current weather in the London, right? However, I thought that we don't want to completely override their story. Their original story is what creates their identity to these characters. What we can do instead is actually develop a new traits in the result of the fight. And we can develop those traits both for winner and loser. So now we'll define both winning character and defeated character tags, and we will put both of their skills into the prompt. people, not just their skills, but actually the stories, how their skills colliding turn out to make a new story inside of fight. And then we will see both winning character and defeated character, what traits they develop, what lessons did they learn from this fight. That's why we define this battle conclusion format. And we will, it's very exciting to actually see. Kalara's shadow has developed a deeper understanding of the balance between light and shadow, enhancing her ability to seamlessly blend those forces in a combat. This newfound harmony allows her to create more potent illusions and execute swift and unpredictable attacks, making her an even more formidable opponent. Her connection to the shadows is now more intuitive, allowing her to anticipate and counter digital threats with greater precision. Now, this is something that's truly unique. After this fight with this cyberpunk character, and because she actually is the winning character, she developed this new unique trait, Harmony of Shadows, because our cyberpunk shadows is shaded as shadow skills. And what actually happened to him, he developed fracture focus. After the encounter with Talara, Vexnion has developed this is so cool that the straight history it actually mentions her name has developed a vulnerability in their concentration. The battle highlighted a reliance on digital manipulation and illusions which can be disrupted by those with an innate connection to the natural and mystical realms. This experience has left Vex with a lingering doubt in their abilities, causing occasional lapses in focus during high-pressure situations, making them more susceptible to unexpected attacks. This is something that our both characters now have those traits that they develop in the result of this fight. So now I have a lot of fun just colliding those characters together. But now it's your turn to take this framework and apply it to your game. So if you're building it as an NFT game, you can have this personality to your characters. You can have them to develop themselves during the battles. You can still maintain your logic of the game as we saw before, but actually you can apply those traits and develop those characters during their battles, creating truly engaging experience that the player can live through along with their characters as they play. So now it's your turn. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this video inspires you to create this engaging experience of real life for players.